Welcome to Short Bible Messages. This series is about the Bible, our daily bread. Well, the Bible is a wonderful book. It contains stories, poems, songs, sayings, prophecies, letters, travel descriptions, and much more. It was written by kings, fishermen, priests, theologian, shepherd, medical doctor, and many other people. These were all people like us. Yes, it was all ordinary people. The Bible does not describe those writers as supermen, but it shows us women and men like us. The Bible reports on normal people, people who have their problems. It shows us people who have joy and people who have sorrow. It shows us people who have friends and those who have enemies. It shows us people who want to go through life with God, and it shows us people who do not want Him. In this respect, the Bible is a very practical book. The time in which we live may look a bit different from the Bible times, but man has not changed. Now, the main subject of the Bible. Above all, the Bible tries to point to one person. That's the main issue. We all know this person by name. It is Jesus. But the question is, do we really know Him? Well, the goal of this course is to know Him. The only way to get to know Him is to read what writers, the Bible writers, have written about Him. That is why you yourself should read the Bible, and so you can draw your own conclusion. Keys. Because many of us probably do not know how to deal with the Bible, we will give some keys to understand it in the first lessons. Well, the first key for understanding in the Bible is just read it. A girl asks her mother, "Mom, the book in the shelf there, is it the book of God?" And "Yes, sure," says Mom. And then the girl replies, "Why don't we give it back to him? We never read it anyway." Didn't you read? Lord Jesus was often in conversation with scribes. They asked questions. Sometimes he reacted as follows: "Didn't you read that?" For they could have found the answer to their questions in the scriptures. The same applies to us. We also have many questions. Does God have to answer us, "Have you not read that?" So the first simple key to understanding the scriptures is just read them. Never read. The biggest problem in conversations about the Bible is that most people never read it. "Oh boy, we know this by heart," they say. But most of the time, however, this is not true at all. A question: have you ever read the Bible in full, from the beginning until the end? How about starting to read the Bible today? A second key for understanding the Bible is accept that the Bible is the truth. People say there are many contradictions in the Bible. What it says can never be true. An example. Some time ago I had a small accident. It was in a narrow tunnel. When I got out of the tunnel in my car, another car was about to enter the tunnel. Because this was not possible, we collided. Now there are some testimonies about this accident. How did I experience the accident? When I came out of the darkness into the light, I suddenly saw a blue car. There were two people in it. One man got out of it, and he approached me. What did the man in the other car experience? It was slippery, and when he tried to drive into the dark tunnel, he suddenly saw a gray car. He saw only one person. A little later, another man came out of one of the neighboring houses. How did he experience it? Well, he saw several people running around. He saw 2 broken cars parked on the side of the road. And because it was raining a little, he quickly went back into his apartment. But just as an image or a picture is only 2-dimensional and reality is 3-dimensional, so these images are never perfect. So Jesus was sent by his Father to his people, like Joseph to his brothers. They rejected him and killed him. But Jesus, like Joseph, also went to a foreign country, namely, he went to heaven. Just like Joseph became king, he became a king. He was exalted, he was glorified. And in future, the people of Israel, like Joseph's brothers, will be in great distress. They will be forced to come to their Messiah, Jesus. And in the end, his people Israel will admit their guilt and they will be forgiven. Isn't that great? The Old Testament, a book full of information about Jesus. We said earlier that the Old Testament is a kind of photo album. Although the stories in the Old Testament are real life stories in the first place, yes, it is history, they try to point out to the person who would come, Jesus Christ. He was there in the New Testament, and in the other Gospels we read about his birth, his life, his death. But thank God, he didn't only die, but he also rose from the dead. He lives. And that's the reason why the disciples went out into the world at that time. Many people came to believe in Jesus and became Christians. Churches were planted everywhere because problems of various kinds arose among the believers. The apostles wrote letters. And again, they tried to draw the attention of the believers to this living person, Jesus Christ. So, the 5th key to understanding the scriptures is the main theme of the whole Bible is Jesus Christ. This was it for today. God bless you. See you next time at Short Bible Messages. May God bless you all. Amen.